Welcome to the Take a Listing Today podcast, where our hosts Jim Studebaker and Todd Robertson give you strategies to get you out of the office right now so you can take a new listing today. And now, here's Jim and Todd.
Hey, once again, welcome. Take a Listing Today podcast. It is show number 33. The topic today is wonderful. How to find a killer home stager and get that home sold. Ooh. So we want to welcome you to today's podcast. And don't forget our website, takealistingtoday.com, where you can sign up for our next live recording and win some prizes. That sounds pretty exciting, huh? I'm Jim Studebaker, Todd Robertson, right over there. Lisa Gray over in the producer's corner. We are very glad that you are here with us today. So, killer home stagers. That sounds pretty exciting, doesn't it?
Isn't home staging itself a great topic? Because you think about an average real estate agent getting in a car right now and going to show a home. Mm-hmm. They're going to show 3 of them. One's vacant. One just got put on the market. It's normal. Mm-hmm. And the other one got some time and energy and was staged.
Right.
So that's a great aerial view of how to think about this conversation.
Yeah. What is going to produce a better impression on that buyer?
Right.
Right. So, let's start at the beginning here. Working hard to get a listing is the first step towards a commission check. We all know that. In some markets, you may work just as hard to get that listing sold. In reference to getting that current tough listing sold, did you know that studies show you have about 8 seconds to make a great first impression on a potential buyer who has just stepped foot into your listing? Now, counseling your clients on how to prepare them to market their home is just a given, but we all know that many homes need more than a good cleaning and a thorough decluttering. Let's face it, some sellers are just pack rats, right? Mm-hmm. So that is when a home stager is worth their weight in gold. Taking a home from ho-hum to drop dead appealing is the magic that sells homes for the most money that the market will bear.
Now, those of you listening and watching right now, feel free to type in comments, because a lot of you are great at this as a realtor and you go in and do this, and some of you are wanting to do this. So feel free to type in questions and interact with us, because we're here for you guys and we want to give you the best information possible.
That's right. So here's some great statistics for you, because we love the numbers here. Lisa, you do awesome there. Make sure we have numbers to share.
Hey, proof. It's proof.
It is proof. So studies show that staged homes sell 87% faster. In fact, 95% of staged homes sell on average in 11 days or less. That's pretty impressive. Furthermore, 81% of buyers state it's easier to visualize a staged home as their future home. And 28% stated staging helped to minimize the home's flaws. What homes don't have any flaws?
Well, and think about if we put these 2 stats into a modern perspective. Think about if 3 of us are going to go look at new developments, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to show us the model homes, and they're going to be incredible, right? They're going to show us that home's best potential. And maybe when we move in or the homeowner moves in, they won't go to that level, but it's going to let them see what's possible, what's doable.
Right. So, final stat. Buyers stay in a vacant home an average of 5 minutes. However, a staged home is toured for an average of 40 minutes.
Nice.
So, buyers clearly see the value in staging a home versus going into just an empty room, right? Now, with that said, you're convinced, okay, I got to have a stager. But how do you find the right stager who will magically get you the most money in the least amount of time? We're going to tell you how. Aren't you glad you tuned in today? Let's start with where to find a stager. Seems like a no-brainer, right? Just pop on the computer there and enter home stagers into your search engine, and voila, there you are. But that's wrong. There's more to it than just that. Just as you hope your real estate clients will interview more than one agent, you should have at least 3 home stagers to compare. The best place to look for them is right in your office by asking your colleagues. So find out which agents in your office use stagers in their real estate business and make note of who they are. The beauty of this type of referral is that your colleagues did the heavy lifting when vetting the stagers. That way, all that's left is for you to do a bit of sleuthing and then interview them to determine if they're a good fit for your business. Now, once you've found a list of stagers, it's time to stalk them. We don't mean follow them around or, perhaps get arrested for some kind of crime.
Right. Unless there's single staging dating sites, which I don't think there are.
Well, that could be. I'm not sure. We're probably getting off topic with that. But that might be,
okay. Oops.
That might be a future episode.
It's been known to happen. Right?
That could be. That's our sister podcast, Take a Date today. So
Right.
Okay. So as you're stalking the stranger, here's what you actually should do. Visit the Stager's website to find their portfolios. Remember, if they posted something on their site for all the world to see, they are most likely presenting what they consider their absolute best work. Try to determine if each stager has a preferred niche. For example, some specialize in staging vacant homes or condos. Others may have a preferred part of town. Then check each candidate's ranking at Yelp.com, not Yelp, YELP.com, and their information at the Better Business Bureau and other review sites. All right. So now you've stalked them, and now it's time to interview them. So, being made fun of over in the corner there. All right. Now it's time to conduct the effective interview. Once you've come up with a list of promising prospects, give each one a call to set up an interview. Now, what should you ask? Well, we're going to give you those ideas, of course.
And keep in mind, during this interview, you're in charge. You're the real estate agent. You're in charge. They're not in charge. So you want to find someone who's going to play by your rules, who has great credentials, is not going to resist these things. You're interviewing them and possibly turn into a long-term relationship.
Right.
Every time I get a listing, I'm sending you to go make this happen.
If they have a problem being interviewed, that might be a red flag there that they don't want to talk about, right?
And some are more, yes, some are more than not. Right.
So grab your notepad and a piece of paper and a pencil, unless you're driving. If you're driving, then don't do that. But highlight this episode so you can listen to it later on and get these important ideas. Number one, ask about their rates, especially whether or not the stager requires a consultation fee. Number two, ask for the address of one or two of their currently staged properties so you can visit before the interview. Number three, get a list of the names of other agents that they've worked with. Number four.
And call people on that list.
And call people on the list.
You're right, because most people get the list but don't call. They're saying, if they gave me a list, they're probably legit.
That probably should have been added on this list here. Call those people. Don't just find out what their names are.
A list.
All right. Number four, does a stager have a niche? If so, you as an agent, and if you practice in that niche, this question is quite important. For example, luxury agents should look for luxury home stagers. Number five, ask the stagers which areas of town they primarily work in. This is important information since knowledge of the neighborhood's target audience is critical. So if you're going for the country bumpkin area, you want staging different than the hoity-toity rich guys area, right? All right.
Well, and they may be even adding certain elements to the house that are reflecting what goes on in that community.
Oh, God.
Who knows? Maybe there's some parks that are very popular in that area, and they lay out some brochures on the counter.
Yeah, maybe it's
right. That's
beachy.
part of that whole process of creating a psychological impression that gets somebody excited about wanting to live in that house. And the great stagers do those things. They promote what's going on in the community as well.
Right. Beautiful.
All right, so number seven, how long does the average staging job take, and what is the stager's availability? If there's somebody who requires a 6-week lead time, they're probably a really good stager, but they may not be available if you need to get your house done right away.
We'd like our listing sold by then.
Right, exactly. In 11 days, right?
Right.
That's what the staging does for you. Number 8, what is required of the homeowner during the pre-staging process? Do they need to be cooperative and get their crap out of the house, or
what do they need to do? Out of the house?
Maybe the homeowner just needs to leave. Exactly. Number 9, what is the average days on market for the stager's clients? There's a great question. Is this over or under the average for the market? And the average list to sales price ratio of the company's staged homes. That is a great stat to have.
And another great thing to keep in mind is this, that if the client is resisting this, I don't want my house staged, it's fine, this is how we have it. Well, maybe they're not as motivated as we thought.
Right.
So this is a great qualifying tool as well to say, when I go put your home on sale, on the market, we're going to do everything we can to tilt it in the category where it goes under contract.
And that's part of the real estate professional's job, is to convince the homeowner why staging will help. And you know what? You can steal some of these stats if you want to. Go ahead and use them in your next listing presentation. Is that okay if they steal those?
Yeah, absolutely. They're public stats from off the internet.
Okay.
And one other thing we were talking about in our meeting before this is maybe getting them to remove their tchotchkes as their realtor. They may be personally offended because they love all their thimble and spoon collection whatever it is.
They will be.
But when you've got a third party coming in, a professional stager,
no emotion, right?
Who's saying we're going to remove your 500 statues of dogs that are throughout the house just temporarily, even though we love them. It's less emotional. I mean, you're trying to develop a relationship with your client. You don't want to offend them. Now they're turned off by you. The whole, it could throw that relationship downhill from that moment on. And then, obviously they're not a source of referrals or anything. But when you've got a stager coming in and it's their job to make sure this house looks right, it's not as offensive. It's not as personal for them to say, we're going to move this.
Well, especially if you can dollarize them with these statistics, and obviously
Absolutely.
It's up to them pricing the home correctly. But if we can take a look at these statistics and say, if we do everything else right, your $400 investment or $1,000 investment, depending on how much work needs to be done, well, that's going to yield us $4,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 on the sale of the house. So this is a real no-brainer in terms of a motivated seller.
Right, or you want to sell your home faster? Okay, well, the average is 11 days for staged homes.
Let's dial it up.
95% of the time, yeah.
Right.
So this is the reason why we're doing this. Yeah.
Are you calling knickknacks and things a tchotchke?
Tchotchke? You never heard that?
Is that a Wisconsin thing? No, I've never heard of that
Maybe
before.
It's Slovak, I don't know.
That might be an HR violation. We're probably in trouble.
I thought she was talking about a character from wasn't there a Happy Days character named
No,
that?
they don't have a house full of tchotchkes.
Oh, that's right, Happy Days.
Right.
Yeah, he was a dark-haired guy.
Although maybe somebody does have a bunch of tchotchke dolls in their house. Maybe there was a doll made at one time.
All the people from our last podcast who look at social media, the 35 runner probably never heard of Happy Days.
Right,
Is
that's
that possible?
true. Yeah.
So, yes, that was a great TV show. Look it up. You can probably find it on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it was not even around during her day, just our day.
Right.
She doesn't even know about it.
Right, exactly. That was before your time, right?
Right.
Sure, we can do that. We
Yeah.
can play that
Can we do
game.
that?
Sure.
Can Todd and I get a raise here? No.
Hey, I earned every year.
Keep us on track,
good.
producer.
Right.
On track.
We're starting to get off track here. Okay, number 10. Ask if the stager is insured, and if you decide to hire him or her, get a copy of the insurance certificate. That's probably important. Todd, you mentioned that grandma's ashes would probably be irreplaceable if something happens.
Correct. We got to be very careful with that and either label them or seal them or hide them.
Right.
If the tchotchke doll got hurt.
Right. They're going to want to use this.
Or if it's Chachi's ashes, that may be a problem.
We might have a situation there. Yeah.
Okay,
You'd be backing out of that house.
okay, yeah. All right. Maybe the homeowner should just put that stuff away anyway. So, okay.
Before the stager comes over. Yeah.
Okay. Can we move on, please, from that? All right. Thank you. Are you okay? All right.
So regardless of that,
regardless of the incredible customer service that you might provide your clients and your impeccable reputation, it takes only one lazy, shoddy, or dishonest vendor to ruin it. So take your time with this process. Not only is it important to take your time, but also important to consistently follow up on their work. Do you need a tissue?
Our producer's breaking down over there. It's happened on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. It happens, Tom Cruise had to deal with the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Call your clients. Okay, follow up on them. Call your clients to find out how the job is going. Follow up after completion to get an idea of how it was for your client to work with your vendor. And don't feel like you have to remain loyal to a vendor if you receive negative feedback, because remember, it's your reputation on the line.
And I equate this to the following, that this topic here should be a no-brainer if the seller is motivated, but equate it to selling a car. If we're going to go sell a car, we could just put a for sale sign on it right now and just go put an ad somewhere. But if we want to get more money and get some more viewership, we're going to go get it waxed, we're going to get it clean, we're going to get it dialed up, take some good photos with it. So same mindset, same analogy. But with the house, we're talking crazy amount of money. With car, it might be an extra 2, 3, 4, 500, 1,000.
Right. So there you go. You need a killer home stager to get your home sold. So that way you can go out and take another listing, right?
Exactly. So type that in the box there. Let us know if you have any questions. Send us an email. We look forward to helping you go out and implement these strategies and take a listing today.
Perfect. So remember, if you'd like to be part of our next audience for our next live show, go to our website, takealistingtoday.com, to view the dates of our next tapings and sign up. You'll have a chance to go on the air and win some really great prizes. Our podcast today is brought to you by ProspectsPLUS, offering a multitude of marketing products that will help ensure your success. Please like this podcast and subscribe to it, and we'll talk with all of you next week. See ya.